Hello, hey, hello, everybody. I am running a little bit late again, as per usual. I was just realizing that when I when I set the events and all that kind of stuff, instead of saying 6 o'clock, I should say 6-ish. Then I'd always be on time. Anyway, welcome. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and here, come walk with me in the woods if I can find the right button. So we're walking down to our spot on this beautiful river, to this beautiful green woods. Trying to avoid getting hit in the head with a golf ball from the golf course on either side of the river. I love this path so much. And it's perfect. It's like anytime you're on like a pilgrimage or you have some like Arthurian quest, right? There's always some kind of a passage to get there. You don't just arrive. And it's like this is this perfect little path to kind of release the everyday world mind and traffic and schedules, etc., and arrive at the river. Here we go. Okay. Oh. I only have two hands and I've got a lot of stuff, so there we go. This is a lovely medicine wheel I made with stones right here. So I am almost to the point where I can actually talk coherently. Okay, here we go. Oof. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to the weekly Sacred Pipe Ceremony. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, a little disheveled, and I had a feeling I should have brought my hat, but oh well. I just have to do this with the sun in my eyes. And so I just want to show you this beautiful little glade that we are in. And once I set our sacred space, when I drum in our sacred space, this is where you'll be with me. All right. So I'm kind of if you haven't been here before, hi Ducky. If you haven't been here before, I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and I don't do any like big production things. It's just kind of like I turn on my phone, I turn on my camera, and you get me just as you find me. So, hi King J. Welcome everybody. As I am setting up, I'll kind of talk about what we're doing here. Hi Grace. Welcome. So we are going to do a sacred pipe ceremony. If you're wondering what that is, well, there's a really bad lag. Thanks for letting me know, Gage. Is it bad enough that I should start over? Should I start a whole new video? Or should I just go with it? do 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 do. You said no. Go with it for a minute. Okay, like I gave you a choice, this or that, and you said no. I'm like, okay, awesome. So we are going to be doing the pipe ceremony. Okay, I'm gonna go with it. Thanks, Tiffany. So if you've ever watched old westerns, you know, or like Dances with Wolves or that kind of thing, and you've seen the Native Americans smoking the peace pipe, that's what we're doing tonight. It's called the Chanupa. It's the sacred pipe of the Lakota people. Actually, I should revise that. This is a sacred pipe. This is my sacred pipe. I was in a circle one time doing pipe ceremony, and I said, this is the sacred pipe, and this woman's eyes just got huge. I'm like, no, this isn't the pipe. This is an example of the sacred pipe. There is the original pipe is still in existence. So the story goes that 19 generations ago, in a time when the Lakota, different bands of the Lakota Nation had come together to kind of help survive, and it was a time of drought, it was a time of hunger, the game was scarce, and they weren't sure how they were going to survive. And in that time, a spirit woman, who they call White Buffalo Calf Woman, which is why I've got a white buffalo on my altar right here. And on my Did it sort itself out, Gage, sorry. Was saying it over and over. That happens from time to time, that repeating, and I am not familiar enough with YouTube to know what that is. Or how to fix it. So I'm just gonna keep moving forward. Anyway, so White Buffalo Calf Woman came along when there was a lot of discontent with the tribe. There was bickering and infighting, and it said the people had lost their connection to Mother Earth. They had forgotten their connection. And so White Buffalo Calf Woman appeared. I got something for Thomas if he shows up. She brought them the pipe, the original sacred pipe. And she taught them how to smoke the pipe in a sacred manner, and taught them how the stem is the divine masculine, and the bowl is the divine feminine. So when we put the two together, it's all of creation. It's the masculine and feminine, the soft and the hard, the light and the dark, all of that stuff as one, as they say, as like Alan Watts talks about the non-dual universe, right? Like all those seeming extremes and opposites are all part of the same story, the same spectrum. And we have the pipe. It basically brings all of that together, and that's the purpose of the pipe, is to unite all things, all people. And when White Buffalo Calf Woman brought the pipe, she taught the people. She brought them 7 total ceremonies, all of which revolved around the pipe, because the pipe, like I said, divine masculine, divine feminine, so we put them together, and this is creator. This is the most sacred object to the Lakota people. Everything revolves around the pipe because it's the divine presence. Like, we put it together, it's the divine presence in our hands. This is basically church. And the thing with the smoke in the pipe is, like we learned through the pandemic, right, that our breath is our most intimate element. It's like the breath, we share our breath, and that is how things are spread between us, right? It's like we breathe the same air. The air comes into my lungs, becomes part of me, then I breathe out part of me, and someone else breathes in, and it's like we're all part of that same system, just like the unity of putting the pipe together. Have I ever made my own pipe? Yes. I didn't make the stem. I bought the stem, but I carved the bowl. It's my Perching Wolf. If you know, my company name is, my business name is Perching Wolf, so it's a wolf with wings. So yeah, I carved that. And so the red of the pipe, the bowl, is said to be the red of the blood of all people. And so it's really, and that's why the smoke in the pipe during pipe ceremony in today's age is just as pertinent as it was back then, right? Because it's about bringing all people together, no matter race, no matter orientation, gender, whatever. We are all one. We are all one people. We are all connected. Like one guy, the host of, I used to go to this festival they used to have called Fairy Worlds, which is a whole nother story, but the main host, he would like, okay, I want you to lift up your shirt. You have a belly button? You do? That means we're all related. We're all the same family. And so it's like, really, like, I smoke my pipe here at the river all by myself or with you. But when I smoke it, it connects to everyone else, every other pipe carrier in the world, as well as all of the pipe carriers through history, all the way back to the first one, creating this web of light around the world, raising that frequency to help awaken humankind to the truth of our oneness, right? It's not debatable, it's a fact. Even scientists, like on a subatomic level, we are all one. There's no separation. That doesn't mean we aren't unique, we don't have our own personalities, etc., etc. But we are all part of the same system. There is only one of us here. We're all part of the same source energy. And when we put the pipe together, when we do ceremony, it's kind of a recognition of that and calling that forth, not from out there someplace, but from within us outward. And to recognize, like the namaste thing, right? That divine in me sees the divine in you. We call forth that divinity within us, which raises our frequency, and by seeing that same divinity in other people, raises their frequency, and on and on and on and on. That is how we heal the world. That is how we change the world. So that's the pipe in a nutshell. I wonder if people who watch me all the time get tired of me saying the same thing over and over every single week. So I kind of mix it up and stuff. But that's in a nutshell a little bit about the pipe. The first thing I'm going to do before anything else is Um, I'm going to drum. I'm going to set our safe and sacred space. And once I do that, it will be like you're sitting right here with me in this greenery next to the river. And we set that sacred space not to keep bad spirits out, but to create, to call our spirit allies, our spirit helpers to hold this foundation of higher frequency around us, to create this energetic container, which it keeps other lower frequencies out, and it gives us a focus to do our magic, right? So that we don't have to be all hyper vigilant. We don't have to be protective, right? So we can take the world off our shoulders. We can open up. We can open to receive, right? So this is what that looks and sounds like when I do it. There's an infinite number of ways of doing this. This just happens to be the way I do it. Spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, compassionate spirits of the middle world, the Fae, the spirits of the land, the ancestors of the land. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for holding us in your love and your light. If you take a minute to take a breath, you might notice you're breathing a little bit easier. I always feel it's amazing how palpable the change is when we create that sacred space, and how much easier I can breathe when I do that. And so, to give you a rundown on what the ceremony itself is going to look like, I'm going to light some sage and smudge myself, and I will send some through the ether to you, and I'll smudge everything here on my altar. And then I will raise my pipe and I will say a prayer asking permission to smoke in this place at this time. And then I will put the pipe together, and then the next thing I'll do is take 4 pinches of tobacco and put it in the bowl. And that part I do out loud, so you'll hear I do different offerings. To me, it feels kind of like making cotton candy, you know, when you have that paper cone and you put it through the thing, and the cotton candy just kind of spirals onto it. It's kind of like I pull the tobacco out around the circle, and it's like picking up all the prayers from all around, and we put those prayers into the bowl. And once I'm done with that, I have a song that White Buffalo Catwoman, that I mentioned earlier, she has been one of my main guides for almost 20 years. And she gave me a song to sing before each ceremony that I facilitate. So once I have the pipe filled, I will sing that song. Then I will light the pipe. And the next thing I do is in silence. But what you will see me doing is I'll take a big puff of smoke, and I will offer the pipe to one of the directions and blow that smoke in that direction, offering the pipe to the directions to the spirits to smoke along with us. I'll do that to the 4 directions, to Father Sky, to Mother Earth, in a circle for all our relations, and then straight up for Creator. And then I'll pause for a moment with the stem to my forehead, the bowl to my heart. And then when I come back, I will relight the pipe, and at that point, I'll take a great big puff of smoke and I will blow it straight at my camera. And that is your opportunity to, yeah, the pipe is hollow. That's how I can smoke it, because it's like you put the tobacco in the bowl, you light it, and you breathe, you draw the air through the pipe up into your mouth, right? And so that's how it works. And so we draw that, and that's like when we're smoking the pipe, we don't inhale it into our lungs, we just draw it into our mouths, and then we bring our prayers to mind, we attach our prayers to that smoke, and then we blow it out. Because that smoke is an offering to the spirits. That smoke is not for our sake, it's for the spirits. Kind of the same if you've ever seen or heard about people like me. When I go out into the woods, I like to bring tobacco or cornmeal along with me, and at different points I'll like sprinkle some tobacco around to thank the spirits of the place for allowing me to be there. It's kind of the same thing. We blow that smoke out as an offering to the spirits to receive our prayers. And then I will continue. So that's your opportunity to set your biggest, bestest intentions, to say your biggest, bestest prayers. Because that's smoke coming right to you, to your heart, to carry your prayers straight to Creator. And when we put the pipe together, it opens a channel straight to Creator. No waiting, no filling out in triplicate, just boom, straight to Source. And so I send that smoke to you. That is smoke coming to lift your prayers and carry them to Creator. And I'll continue to smoke then for a little while, and when it feels complete, I will lift my pipe again, say another prayer, and when I do the final prayer, I was going to say you won't understand it, but who knows, maybe you will. But I do the final prayer in light language, and so it's just, you basically will just hear syllables, and it might sound like nonsense, but it's similar to speaking in tongues, right? And I just open up and I receive, and I say the sounds and the syllables that come to me, and it's such a much purer form of prayer than if I were sitting here in my head trying to figure out, okay, what do I pray for now? What words do I use now, right? It gets my brain, my left brain and thinking mind out of the way so that it can come through so much more pure. Oh, you want to know where Perching Wolf came from? Yeah, when years and years and years ago, I had a dream, and I dreamt that I was running along this dry riverbed. It was this riverbed, and there were all these river stones in it, these round river stones, and I'm running for my life because the wolves are after me. And I didn't see them, I couldn't hear them, but I knew they were after me. And I'm running, and at one point I scrambled up the bank, and I climbed up into a tree, like really high into a tree. And I sat there on a branch with my back against the trunk of the tree, and I let out this big old sigh. I closed my eyes because I was like, I'm safe. And as I'm sitting there with my eyes closed on that branch, I felt the branch kind of give way a little bit beneath me and back up again. And I was like, oh crap. I opened my eyes, and the branch I was on, it went out, and then it forked, and right in that fork, with his tail hanging down, was a wolf perching there in the tree. And he looked at me. I wasn't scared all of a sudden, and he looked at me, and what he said to me was, "We are always with you." And so I took that as my name, as my business, Perching Wolf. So that's one of my spirit names. I've got a number of other ones since then, but that's why it's Perching Wolf Studios. So thanks for asking. I like being able to share those stories. Um, so once I'm done with that final prayer, then I have another song that I will sing, and then I will take the pipe apart, and that will be the end of the ceremonial part. And then I tend to talk afterwards, kind of like I'm talking, like spend almost a half hour babbling, but it sounds like babbling to me. I feel like I'm just running off at the mouth, but other people are like, no, it makes sense. There's a lot of good stuff in there. So I hope my words bring comfort. I hope my words make you think, introduce you to different ideas, different ways of being, etc. And so let's do a ceremony, shall we? One more sip of chai. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. Aho. Grandmother, grandfather eagle, we send a voice. We ask permission to smoke in this place at this time. All our guides and guardians watch over us as we smoke. Creator, Earth Mother, Tawabin, Shanadisi, Najakiwas, and Wabus, there is always room for you in my pipe. Creator, Earth Mother, for the two-legged, the four-legged, the winged, the crawlers and the swimmers. All our relations come smoke with us. Grandmother Moon, Grandmother Ocean, to the energy of birth, growth, maturity, the spirit realm and our ancestors. May all the passages of our life be in harmony and grace. Creator, Earth Mother, to eagle, coyote, bear, white buffalo calf woman, bringer of the pipe and the law of good relations to the people. Okane, Bayama, Okane, Bayama, Okane, Bayama, Okane. Okane, Bayama, Okane, Bayama, Okane, Bayama, Okane. Okane, Bayama, Okane, Bayama, Okane, Bayama, Okane. grandmother, grandfather, eagle, we send another voice. With my brother Kingfisher, Hatata, hey, Hatata, ho, Katapai, na, Tatakapai, Oma, ho, pa, Talapata, hey, Namakatai, Tuhu, kuhu, pa, Tamalahay, Talagahana, moho, Tuhu, ku, Patabahai, Tamaragahai, Tahamaho, Takahu, ha, ha, Tapatapahai, Talamaha, tehe, huhu, Tambaha, rabal. Naha, he, tuhu, kapapakatehe, tamaha kadabrahamoho, tuhu katapahe, tumahu kapaha, tahakahe, tahe katapahoho, katamaha dewahe, tahoma katapaha, tapahe, takahe, takahe, takahe. Ihi la ihi o. Ihi la ihi o. Ihi la ihi o. Ihi, ihi, ihi la ihi o. Ihi la ihi o. Ihi la ihi o. Ihi. Oh. Oof. I don't know if you can hear that rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. Kingfisher, one of my favorites. And over there chatting. I love Kingfisher. When Kingfisher shows up, it's a sign. It's a good omen. It's a sign of what they call halcyon days coming up, which is basically saying calm seas. And there's a story. Halcyon was actually, I might get this backwards, but I believe Halcyon was this Greek sailor, and he had met the love of his life, this woman, and I don't remember her name, but they were so in love that they used to joke around about being Zeus and Hera. They were that much in love. They were like the gods. Their love was so divine. And of course, as in most of those old Greek myths, the gods didn't take kindly to humans comparing themselves. And so Zeus sent a thunderstorm and sunk the ship that Halcyon was on, and his love was so distraught that she threw herself off of a cliff. And I think Hera, not as offended as Zeus was able to talk to him for their sake and to recognize what a beautiful love it was, and so to somehow redeem it. And so Zeus turned them both into kingfishers. And at the time, it was believed that kingfishers actually nested on the sea, like their nest was on the water. And so Zeus along with Poseidon, made sure that the Halcyon days, which is usually around winter solstice time, is a time when the seas in that area are calm. And it's like the gods doing that for Halcyon and his wife so that they can have their nest and raise their young without storms, without any troubles and stuff. So when you hear Kingfisher, you see Kingfisher, it's a sign that the gods have answered your call and that you have smooth sailing onward. So, Engage, you're asking where Thomas is? I don't know. He hasn't been around lately. Every year, so for those who don't know, Thomas is my friend, a crow, who usually comes up when I'm doing my ceremonies and stuff, and he'll kind of either be up in the tree behind me, like my head, or he'll be on the path over to the side, waiting for me to throw him food. So I always make sure I bring food. I brought him some food just in case. But every year he shows up kind of in the spring, and then it lasts for a couple of months till around this time. And then I don't know if it's migration, because crows are here pretty much all year round. But I think when he's here coming to me for food and stuff, my feeling is, because he's always alone, and I think he's got a chick. Usually at that time they've got a chick in the nest, and his mate is in the nest with the chick, or maybe it's his. Maybe they trade off and the mate comes and gets food or whatever. But it's kind of like I get the feeling that it's a time when they need extra food to feed their chick and to keep her fed since she can't forage, etc., etc. And I think at this point that the chick is out of the nest now. In fact, was it last week or the week before? All three of them showed up in the tree behind me, and I threw food, but they weren't interested. So he basically brought his wife and his child to introduce them to me. So that was really cool. So I bring food now just in case, but I kind of don't expect to see him. And it's interesting because there's like this. It's kind of like, if you know anything about like British lore, Celtic lore, and it's like the Oak King and the Holly King, right? Where the Oak King rules during the summer and the Holly King rules during the winter. And every fall and spring there's kind of this ritualistic battle when the one whose time it is to ascend to the throne takes over. And it's kind of like this has been Thomas's time, and there's a tree right across the river straight in front of me, and it's kind of bare on top, and that's where the eagles like to come and sit. And I haven't seen them for a few months since Thomas is here. It's like every once in a while I'll see Thomas sitting on top of the tree like, I am the king here now. And now that he's not coming around, I'm expecting, usually around this time, the eagles come back and start hanging out in the tree. A couple of weeks ago, I actually saw Thomas chasing the eagle around to protect his chick and his people and stuff. So the eagles haven't been coming around much, but I think they'll be coming around a little bit more often now, because I think Thomas's his chick has fledged and is flying and starting to learn how to forage on his own. So that's all I know about Thomas at the moment. Halcyon days. So yeah, and I know I kind of butchered that story, but you can Google it. Google Kingfisher and Halcyon spelled Halcyon. I love the old stories. I love the old myths. They have so much to teach us. In fact, I haven't gotten it all together yet, but one of the classes I'm putting together, I've taught it in the past, but I'm kind of updating it. But it's called The Shamanic Journey into Personal Mythology, because we each have our own stories, our own mythology, right? You are the hero of your own story, right? No matter what else is going on, you're the star of the show. You're the hero of your own story. And there are archetypes and stories, all the old stories that can add to our story. The heroes or the gods or the whoever like that inspire us become part of our mythology. And if you were able to start looking at your own life, like, I mean, sages and wise people from the literally the beginning of time have talked about how this world is an illusion, this world is a dream, that we're dreaming this world into existence. And so your life, your waking life, can be interpreted just as much as any nighttime dream can be. And when you look at your life from that point of view, you see the patterns that start to repeat, and you see the same characters showing up in your life, not necessarily wearing the same face, but that same energy and stuff. You start to recognize the story of your life, the mythology of your own life, right? Starting with your creation myth, right? We have, Western society, here in the States especially, we're technically not, hi Juanita, welcome, yay. We're not a Christian nation, right? Technically, but it's like the Judeo-Christian kind of story, mythology, is kind of like the default setting for a lot of our society. And so even if you're not Christian or whatever, there's always still the sense of good versus evil, hell and heaven or whatever. And it's these creation myths that are thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. And there's stories of how those people back then related to Creator. But those mythologies are not necessarily, someone still got fireworks, are not necessarily, don't necessarily speak to us, right? And that's what mythology is supposed to do. Mythology is supposed to connect you to your bigger picture, to your bigger story, to Creator, especially a creation story. And so it's important for people to create their own creation story. Where did you come from? Who were you before this world? What was the world before this? Who is the Creator? And finding a Creator, right? There's one Creator, right? All gods are one God. There is one source. There is one Creator. But to find the aspect or facet of that infinite vastness that relates to you, right? So it could be Zeus. It could be the goddess. It could be the God of the Old Testament. As long as it relates to you in your heart, you feel the connection. That's what story is supposed to do. That's what mythology is supposed to do. And my personal, I'm almost out of time, but my personal creation myth involves the Swan Mother. My creator was the swan who was basically just this ball of light that was growing and growing, and with so much love that she had to unfurl her throat and her head in order to speak forth that love which created the universe. And then as she spread her wings, creating the vastness of space between her wingtips, creating that infinite space, and so on and so on. And so when I see swan is a very special animal to me, because when I see a swan, it represents that vision of the mother of creation. And that is what, that's what speaks to me more than some old man on a throne someplace, right? Swan I can relate to. Swan inspires me, makes me feel better, especially when you bring in the medicine of swan and the meaning of swan through the ages. It's so powerful. But that's just me personally, right? So your assignment, if you choose to accept it, is write your creation story. Who is creator to you? What is, how can you relate to this source energy? Because you are a direct expression of that source. You are connected. You have that divinity within you. And so do you relate to an animal of some sort, a mythological animal, a god, a goddess, a deity? Or is it just a nebulous just feeling of love? Like, what is creator to you? So I didn't know I was going to talk about that tonight. That came out of the blue. So anyway, I guess that's all I have to say for tonight. I hope you enjoyed tonight. I hope you got something out of it. I hope something I said, or just the profundity of the sacred ceremony touched you, opened you up to a little more possibility, made you feel a deeper sense of yourself, of your heart, than you had before. That's what it does for me. And I hope you will come back next week and join me. Same bat time, same bat channel. So I am going to drum and release the spirits that we gathered here with us to hold space so gracefully for us. But meanwhile, my one request for watching this, if you've gotten through this far, please share my video. I've kind of stepped out of my comfort zone. I did this for 5 or 6 years on Facebook, and then I started doing it just recently on YouTube. And so I'm trying to expand my voice, expand my influence, help more and more people. And so you can help me out by sharing my video. And you can, tag people in the comments, or share it to their Facebook page, or just share it in an email, whatever. I would very much appreciate that. And if you got something out of this, or you enjoy my work and you want to just support your friendly neighborhood shaman, I have my PayPal and Venmo links in the description of this video. And those donations go straight to me to support my life, support my lessons, so I have more to come and offer you every time I do a video. And I am so grateful for that. I love my job. This is my day job. This is how I make my living. And so every little bit helps. And I am so appreciative of it. What else? Oh, and I am available for personal readings and healings and teachings. If you visit my website, perchingwolfstudios.net, if you came in late, I actually told a little bit of the story of where the name Perching Wolf came from. Perchingwolfstudios.net is my website, and on there you can get to know me a little bit better. You can see the different services I offer, readings and teachings and healings. Oh my! I do readings. I do card readings with the medicine card deck, working with the totem animals. I do shamanic healing, soul retrieval, Reiki, power animal retrieval, fairy doctoring, and and I have classes. Like I mentioned, I'm putting together a personal mythology class. Hopefully, I'll have that soon. But I also, if you are looking for a teacher, if you're like newly awakened or you're stuck or just uncertain of what to do next, I take on one-on-one mentoring students to help others find their own personal path, their own heart path, to not for me to become their guide on their path, but to help connect others to their own guides, literally to introduce you to your spirit guides, your spirit animals, to be able to be more at the wheel, at the helm of your own ship, right? So if that sounds interesting to you, you can connect with me on my website. You can set up a session with me right from that. And please, if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my videos. That also helps me out tremendously it changes the algorithm and makes it more available for more people to find me. And so the more the merrier. I love being able to share these things with people. I love it. I don't know what else. I was going to trying to say something more deeper, but I love my job. I love being able to help people, to talk to people, to get people to think, get people to feel, to get people to recognize their own greatness. And you are great. You are perfect just the way you are. And if nothing else, that is my job, is to reflect that back to you. Right, Kingfisher? I don't know if you can hear that or not. But anyway, so I think that is it. So let me drum and release our spirits that so lovingly have held space for us. Spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, compassionate spirits of the middle world, the Fae, the spirits of the land, the ancestors of the land. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for holding us in your love and your light. Our work for now is done, but you are always welcome in our circles. Thank you for welcoming us into yours. Oh. All right, my friends, thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for your energy, for your support, for your questions, for your curiosity. I love you all so much. I am so grateful you're here. Until I see you again, know that I love you, know that I see you, and know that I honor you. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and go shining. All right, bye now.